Judge Chifua Maumela has taken the seat in the trial of 5 men accused of the murder of Bafana Bafana captain Senzo Meyiwa. Let's take you there live.
Myself and Patrick Banda appear for the state. The name is G. Baloyi.
As the court pleases, Your Lordship, I still confirm the representation of accused 1 to 4. Advocate TFO instructed by TT Tobani attorneys.
As the court pleases, Your Lord, I confirm that appearances on behalf of accused 5 are as before. The court pleases.
Yes.
As the court pleases, my lord, the matter has already been postponed to the 5th of September 2022 for the continuation of the proceedings. Today was set aside to hear submissions on 2 interlocutory issues that Advocate TFO raised, namely the issue of jurisdiction and the second issue pertains to the 2 dockets. First one is cast 636 of 10 of 2014 and 375 of 1 of 2019. The court set a timetable for the filing of the heads by Advocate TFO and the period within which the state and Advocate Mshololo had to reply. Yes. However, my lord, no heads have been received from Advocate TFO on those 2 aspects. Therefore, the need for the state and Advocate Mshololo to file his fell away. We received a series of correspondence, and I will with broad strokes deal with the timelines of the correspondence.
But before you do that, because I recall we had 2.5 days of hectic address amidst warning that Advocate therefore should forsake that and go the route of filing heads.
Yes.
And I also indicated that otherwise whatever was happening was just a waste of time. I cannot put it better. It's a waste of precious time under circumstances where all of us were sounding agency in this matter. Now you are saying no heads. And indeed, on my table, I was to ask all the 3 of you about the heads, because also on my table, nothing came. When we are in court, all of us are sounding agency, extreme agency, and I agree, in this matter, there is extreme agency. And that is why we set time for everyone to do as they had to do. Even if anybody did not do anything, I expected communication from all of you about where we are at. Even if no heads were forthcoming from anybody, I needed to be placed in a position where I know what is happening. So I don't know what is happening in this trial, because I have to come here today and be told as I'm being told, and it's you speaking. Advocate, therefore, who should have started the ball running I have not heard of from anything from him.
As a court pleases, I'm just setting out the background. Advocate Tifo has indicated that would like to address the court, just giving the background, my lord, of where we are.
Advocate Tifo.
Yes, Lord. I think Advocate Baloyi was supposed to finish the background. I agree with him. He has to lay the background. Then I'll come.
Which background?
Because I'm going to also ask, after they finish, I'm going to ask the court to give me 30 minutes for consultation with my client, because they just arrived now, 2 of them.
No,
I
you're
still have to
talking
consult with them.
consultation. I'm talking heads that we set dates upon. I'm saying, fill me in. I don't just jump on top of something that has not been completed. Fill me in what is the position with those heads. Now you want me to listen to him on top of something that is outstanding. What kind of proceedings do you want us to run?
I don't know, Your Lordship, but I'm saying, by Advocate Baloyi, we discussed about this. He was right. I support what he's doing now.
No, I don't support it, because there's a matter outstanding of heads that I set head. When the court set dates about things to be done, whether it's done or not, we should pass on that with an explanation. Now you have determined that you prefer Advocate Baloyi to address me first before you address me about something about which we made notes and agreed that on this and that date there will be heads. And I'm saying, fill me in, even if it's a brief filling in about what is happening. How do I record things on top of each other?
Your Lordship, this day has been agreed upon, and it's not true that in the interval from that day of postponement until to date, there hasn't been anything that was happening to update the court and my colleagues here. It's not true, that one. The fact of the matter is that I've indicated, there were correspondence that taking place amongst, generated from the accused 1 to 4, updating the court insofar as our last agreement regarding the jurisdiction issue.
Do you have a copy of that correspondence? Because I didn't see that correspondence.
Your Lordship, let me finish.
Yeah.
You'll know when I finish. But if you interrupt me, you won't know. Just give me an opportunity. We're still having the day until 3:30. We're here. So I still reiterate that I think this is a protocol and the right protocol, because the matter belongs to the parties, to the state and the accused, not to the court. The court has to listen what the parties have agreed upon.
No.
There is agreement.
The court has to direct these proceedings. I cannot hear from the two of you. I have to direct my proceedings the way I know proceedings should run. And you cannot tell me how I should proceed. I should direct those proceedings. And I have told you, I need an explanation. I don't want a full explanation. I want to be told what is the position about the heads I expected, which I don't have on my table.
Exactly.
Even if it's one sentence, but I need to know what I'm doing so that the process is clear on my side. Not the way you want it, the way I will be able to handle it from my side.
Yeah. The problem will be one, Your Lordship, with the due respect and your honorable self, Justice Maumela. If the party, the accused party, 1 to 4, want to say something, is not given opportunity, you are going to get the explanation why there are no heads, not even a page, not even one sentence.
I'm saying give me an explanation about whether I'm still to receive heads or whether I am to go over that process, because on my side, I'm waiting for heads and they are not here. That's what I'm saying.
There is a new, there is a latest development. so to say. There is the latest development. On the 29th of June, I met my learned colleague, Advocate Baloy. We have a discussion at his office here in Pretoria. And our discussion was very fruitful. That later came up with a new development whereby accused 1 to 4, to 4 years. We then submitted application or representations in terms of the provisions of Section 6B of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977 to the NDPP. And I also sent it, I copied the court, I copied Mshololo, I copied the state, and then I also got acknowledged of receipt by the state. And we also discussed last week the latest development. I was told that Section 6B is getting attention. And even this morning, I was also updated that Section 6 is getting attention. So I gave...
Yes, that is the explanation I needed before I listened to him. So I am no longer...
But to bring this explanation before he is finalized, it will be putting the cart before the horses.
For me, there's no cart before the horse because I needed this explanation, and you have given me that explanation. Now I will listen to Advocate Baloy.
Yes, and I would later, maybe if you may finish, before I address the court, I still need to address, to consult with 2 of my clients, because when the court came here, 2 of my clients were not here yet. They just came the same time with the court. I would ask 30 minutes before I would do my address.
Advocate Baloy.
As a concludes, my Lord, I was in the process of dealing with the correspondence that has been received from Advocate. Therefore, on the 18th of June 2022, a request for further particulars was received from Advocate Tifo. The court was also copied, to which the state responded on the 20th of June 2022. Then on the 30th of June 2022, Advocate Tifo responded to our letter of the 20th of June, indicating that his correspondence was directed to the investigating officer.
When was that?
On the 30th of June. Indicating that his correspondence was directed to the investigating officer and the National Commissioner, and that he expected a response from them. Then on the 30th of June 2022, another document with a caption, "Interference with prosecutorial independence," was received. And in paragraph 1 of that letter, the issue of jurisdiction, it's mentioned that the issue of jurisdiction is no longer an issue. And furthermore, he signaled his intention to bring an application in terms of Section 6B of the Criminal Procedure Act to the National Director of Public Prosecutions. And that was further confirmed in paragraph 14 of that correspondence.
Yes.
Then on the 4th of July 2022, a document with the heading Request for Reasons for Not Prosecute in Force Lawless Cast 375 of 1 of 2019 was received. Then on the same day, the 4th of July 2022, another correspondence with the caption Representations in terms of Section 6B of Act 51 of 1977 was received. And in paragraphs 117 to 118 of that correspondence, Advocate Tifo mentioned that the defense has since abandoned the issue of jurisdiction and has resolved to bring an application in terms of Section 6B of the Criminal Procedure Act. Now, as confirmed by Advocate for himself when he was on the floor just a few minutes ago, the issue of jurisdiction has been abandoned. And my Lord will recall that would have been the main reason why we would reconvene today, or part of the reason why we would convene today.
Yes.
Now, my Lord, insofar as the second issue is concerned, pertaining to the two dockets, as I just intimated, he has submitted representations to the Office of the National Director of Public Prosecutions. On the 4th of July 2022, and we'll have to await the outcome.
An outcome from the prosecutorial authority.
Yes, from the NDPP. And my Lord, we respect the process that Advocate Tifo has chosen, but, and this is no criticism to him, and we're seeing this with the greatest of respect. The DPP Pretoria is the one who took the decision to institute a prosecution in this matter, and this representation should have been made to him, but as I mentioned, we respect the route that Advocate was taken. And in terms of Section 179 of the Constitution, the NDPP has the power to review the decision of the DPP to prosecute or not to prosecute after consulting that particular DPP, or to intervene if policy directives have not been complied with. Now, my Lord, I'm mentioning this because the route that the representations will travel will amount to the following. There will be a consultation process between the NDPP and the DPP Pretoria.
Yes, please, the court. Thank you, Your Lordship. I think my learned colleague is now jumping out of the pot, getting into the fire. We've agreed, and you want to prove to me that he's not trusted. We have approved, we have spoken, and agreed up to where he will engage the court. I was of the view that when he addressed that the Section 6B has been submitted and is getting attention, that's where he will stop and introduce me to the court. So what he now want to jump into is putting the cart before the buffaloes.
Advocate Baloyi?
I apologize to Advocate if I was just merely explaining the process, my lord, that the representations will follow, and that will also take care of the issue as to more or less when the response can be expected. I was just merely outlining the process more, but if Advocate Tifo was to come in now, by all means.
Yes?
Yes, at this place, the court, Your Lordship. That process, I'm not denying it. I say it will come later. So now, Your Lordship, before I address the court, I request 30 minutes. I want to meet 2 of my clients. Then later, we can address the court with the proper mandate.
Advocate Baloyi?
There's no objection to the request.
Advocate Mshololo? There's a request for adjournment for 30 minutes.
As the court is, I have no objection.
Senzo Meyiwa trial, they're taking an adjournment. You saw the Judge Chifiwa Maumela and Advocate Malisela Defo just butting heads. Advocate Defo saying that he wants to speak for his clients, and the judge saying he came today to get those heads of argument and he wants that to happen. And State Prosecutor Advocate Judge Baloyi caught in the middle there with the Advocate Defo accusing him of dishonesty. That's the latest in this quite confusing process. Yeah, we're yet to find out exactly when processes will start in earnest. Let's take a break. You're watching The Agenda.
Benazo Me Moment. Try the delicious cheeseburger or the jalapeno chicken burger at only 29.90 Rand for each small meal. Nazo.